Hey guys, it's Jay Black, your Monterey Realtor, and today I'm hanging out with Captain Christian, the owner and captain of Bella on the Bay, Monterey. This is Bella. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. We have a nice sunny day today.
It's gorgeous, perfect weather.
Anyway, why don't you tell us a little bit about Bella on the Bay?
So I do sailing charters, take people out for simple little harbor cruises to 2-hour sails to 4-hour whale watch trips, actually wildlife trips. So the 1 hour is basically a glorified boat ride.
Okay.
Kind of feel guilty doing them. You know, I try to warn everybody that it goes by really fast. You know, that's still kind of popular.
Sure.
They just wanted a little break during lunch or midday to see the coastline from a boat and, you know, do something kind of private so they can bring their family out and chill out.
Sure.
See some local wildlife like sea lions and sea otters and things like that, and then come back. The 2 hour is really geared towards sailing. You know, I try to do those 12 to 2 and 2 to 4. Those are the best times to be on the water for sea conditions. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we get a lot of fog here. So
Yeah.
it gives the fog a chance to pull back and then
Not coming yet.
kind of get done before it comes in yet.
Yeah.
And then the 4 hour is, you know, motoring out if they're far away. I'm a sailboat, so I do 7 to 8 knots, and it gives me enough time to get to where they are.
Okay.
Once you get there, you want to be able to enjoy them for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And so depending on how carried away we get with the action we're seeing, you know, we'll either motor home because we spent too much time having fun with the animals,
Uh-huh.
or we'll pop the sails and have a nice relaxing chill out
Okay.
sail coming back with the wind.
Cool. So do you cater more towards tourists then?
It's mostly tourists,
Uh-huh.
but I think maybe a third of my business comes from the local area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Another third comes from around the country,
Okay.
and then another third comes from all over the world. So I
Wow.
meet people from all 4 corners of the world that
that's
come to
great.
Monterey. I had no idea Monterey was that popular till I started doing this.
Yeah, we're a happening spot for sure.
It is. It's pretty amazing. So I got to meet all kinds of cool people from all over the world.
That's really cool. Why did you decide to start Bella on the Bay?
I started out washing cars
Okay.
when I was 17.
Okay.
And worked my way up to running one of the biggest Toyota stores in the country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Down in LA.
Okay.
And one Saturday morning, I'm working like 10 deals with my salespeople, and I got frustrated that we couldn't give a car away for $100 over invoice on all 10 deals. And I said, there's got to be a better life.
Yeah.
And so literally in 20 minutes, I said, I bet if I bought a boat, I could start a charter, relive the memories of my childhood with my grandparents,
Uh-huh.
and make just enough to get by, but be having fun every day and not dealing with this shit. So I picked up the phone, did a loan by phone while I'm working those deals,
Uh-huh.
jokingly with my salespeople. The next morning, I had an approval for a certain amount. We joked about it on Sunday, and that week I found a broker. Second boat I looked at was this boat. It was love at first sight.
Okay.
Said, call the guy, let's see if we can make a deal. He goes, it's not like working a car deal, Christian. I go, why not? And so we made the deal. I was too scared to take the leap and actually quit my job.
Okay.
So I had the boat for a couple years before, but I set it up as a charter business. And my dream was always to be back in Monterey because Monterey's so magical.
Yeah.
As soon as I got the boat up here, about 6 months later, the recession hit. So I was the first guy to get fired.
Okay.
So at that point, I'm like, what am I going to do? Go back and run a car dealership during a recession?
Yeah.
Or am I going to chase my dream? So I cashed out my 401k at the worst possible time, took what I could get,
Uh-huh.
and went for it.
Good for you.
And a year later, I was busy and surviving and making it happen. I definitely loved the challenge,
Sure.
and it got me up every morning running like crazy, just as if I were in the car business. It's 15 years later, I'm still here, and I count my blessings every day.
What surprised you most since you got started?
Number one, the change and the diversity of weather and sea conditions. It can go from epic like today to the next day being 8 feet at 8 seconds and completely fogged in where you can't see 100 feet in front of you. And we're kind of working all together with each other out there on the water when it comes to the wildlife. So the captain community is amazing. Everybody's super cool about being supportive of each other and allowing us to know what kind of action we're seeing, make good decisions. And then the sailing part, super challenging. I didn't know how to sail when I bought the boat. I just kind of dove in, even though I was on a sailboat as a kid. So I got adopted by a wonderful race team here. They thought it was funny I was going to run a charter and didn't know how to sail. They asked me to come sailing with them. I said, I'm flattered, but I really don't know what I'm doing. And they thought I was being modest. And I showed up, and in 5 minutes, they're like, oh my God, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing. So I would be on the boat for the Wednesday night beer cans, and I'd bring my GoPro with my helmet, and they thought that was funny, and I'd sit at the back of the boat, because they yell a word, and everybody start running around doing something. And I had no idea what anything was called on the boat, and why they were doing what they were doing. So I'd come back home, play my GoPro, watch the video, learn the terminologies, and a year later, I was racing with them at the Big Boat Rolex Series in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it turns out they're one of the best sailing teams on the West Coast, and I just feel so blessed that they brought me on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
The next thing that I was amazed about, the diversity of people from all over the country and all over the world that come specifically to Monterey to either be on Monterey Bay or see Big Sur or go to the aquarium and spend, 3 days to a week and just chill out here. So I had no idea that it was that big of a deal.
And what would your customers say they like most about jumping on a charter with you?
My niche is they like the private thing. They want to be with just their friends and their family and do something on a cool boat. So I'm really lucky that it's a cool boat.
What are some of your goals for the next year?
When I created the idea of doing this, at the end of the day on that Saturday, the joke was, okay, I'm going to name the boat after my daughter, Tierra Lynn. The boat's name was Bella, so I kept Bella in the name. But then I said, I'm also going to sail it to Bora Bora someday. So I've achieved every goal I set out to achieve, except for the Bora Bora.
Okay.
So everything right now is geared towards having the boat ready, setting it up to go cruising and do the South Pacific. Touch Bora Bora for a couple of weeks. I've been there on vacation twice when I was with Toyota. Amazing. And so my goal in the next year to 2 years is setting the boat up to be completely self-sufficient, to be out on the ocean for months at a time, and not have to worry about it.
How long does it take to sail across the Pacific?
So to get to Bora Bora from Puerto Vallarta, it's going to take about 30 days. It's one of the longest, if not the longest crossing in the world. So I'm super nervous, but super excited at the same time. The fear motivates me. Yeah,
well, you got to learn enough so that you're going to be safe doing it, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. So other than that, what's your favorite part about being a part of the Monterey Peninsula community?
A lot of service workers here, and everybody's pretty tight. From restaurant workers to all the captains and all the crews on the other boats. And it's a really prominent sailing community, so there's a lot of great sailors that are here. And just the camaraderie between everybody. If I needed a lot of help in the beginning, and if it wasn't for all those people coming to my rescue, from West Marine employees to other sailors that have been through some of the things that the diversities I was facing, because stuff breaks. I was breaking stuff all the time. I'm throwing up the bat signal. And so the camaraderie in the community is amazing. And then diversity of things to do here. You can go skiing in Tahoe, you can be out here surfing on the same day.
Yeah, it's funny because the two things that get said the most by other business owners is the community, like itself, and just how you can kind of get to know anybody pretty quickly, and it's nice that way. And the other thing is the stuff you do outside, like that everybody kind of wants to be outside all the time. So that, like, those are the two things that most people say. It's
just a magical place. I mean, from the wildlife to the coastline to the mountain ranges, the Cascades that are 3 hours away, Yosemite, down to Big Sur, and even beyond, down to Hearst Castle. That whole area is just explorable. So I have explored it all, by the way, with a backpack. And it's just amazing.
It
you
really
go get lost in there for 3 or 4 days and you still feel like you're at home.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's all I've got. Is there anything else we need to know about Bella on the Bay?
No, just let's go sailing, baby.
Let's go do it. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And
good to meet you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, and thanks for watching. We're going to have all of his links down below in the description, so check out the website, book a charter, And yeah, thanks a lot. See you next time.
Let's go sailing.